Internet, you picked your poison. You can tell how many craps I don't give anymore because on the one hand, I'm essentially doing a part 2 that no one asked for to last week's video, and I'm recording this while my parents are trying to sleep. That's where my head's at. Basically, ever since I made that video, I've just been like, looking at old posters and been like, you need that treatment. You need a Nikki editing video treatment. Some of them are so... I shouldn't say that they're so bad. There are a couple that look pretty decent, but then there's others that, like, what I did with them does not match the tone of the song at all, and it brings me pain to witness it. I just need to fix it. I literally just need to fix some of them. Actually, I fixed 2 of them earlier today. I fixed... It's actually kind of a theme here with these 2. I fixed I'll Be Here by Park Hyung-sik and We Become Each Other's Tears, Sunwoo version by Park Seo-joon, both from Harangue the Poet Warrior Youth. And yeah, they look so much better, and they are actually relatively new posters, so I was like, why did I fall back into that pit of what were you? So yeah, I was like, dang, I need to fix my posters. The first on the editing list is No by BTS. This one looks pretty okay. I think it's just, again, with like a general lack of structure to it. Like, you look at it and it's like, everybody say no. It's not gonna work anymore. Don't be captured in other people's dreams, or like whatever the heck I was trying to do. But like, it needs something else. Like, I don't know what that something is until I edit it, but something just needs, like, a new format. And also, I don't know what the heck is with, like, the gradient and the noise inside the, fonts. I think it was me trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm trying to, like, make it look like it's metal, like, because of the, because of, like, that weird, like, dystopian school. Yeah, I need to just revisit that music video for, like, a better color scheme if I actually want to go with that theme. Next, we have a lesser-known BTS song, The Stars. Again, what was that? I think that was essentially kind of like pretty inspirational lyrics, flaw. Go into the world for my fellow, international army who speak English so that we can all understand these beautiful words. Go out into the world and bless them with your words. And so that was obviously kind of stupid. I mean, it's going to look better by the end of it, but, like, what is up with, like, me being like, ooh, I need fancy-dancy shapes to, like, put in the background? Like, honestly, you had the most beautiful moments in life where it was, like, just splatters and those 2 hearts at the word, like, heartbeat. And then you have just, like, the, like, crop shape hearts there for no other reason than, ooh, it adds more. And I could really do without that border. I don't know why that's there. Like, everything about this just needs to stop. Last but not least, Love Is Not Over by BTS. I've got a love-hate relationship with this poster because initially I made a poster almost exactly like that one to NSYNC's Pop. Except I had the gradients going in opposite directions. Big mistake. And so I was just kind of like, okay, I want to do this right, like get the gradients and, like, have the tile, then have the actual lyrics on top of that, bringing out more of the gradient, which was cool. But Love Is Not Over is just the worst song for that, because this is bright and fun and in your face, whereas Love Is Not Over is, like, a very deep, almost depressing song, but it's, like, so beautiful and it deserves so much more than that. So yeah. Until I get the other posters done. Take it away, future Nikki. Well, it is in fact December the 7th at about 1:20 a.m. because, last day of classes just happened and I finally had time to actually sit down and, like, talk about this and film it, so yeah, here we go. First things first, Love Is Not Over. This one doesn't even need explaining. I think it was just, like, a weird thing because, like I mentioned beforehand, that I did the same thing to the song Pop by NSYNC. except it was like reversed, and that just looked awful. And I was like, okay, I want to, you know, do this the proper way with something else. If it were a different gradient, like if it was, you know, that shade of pink or like any of those other colors, the gradient could have worked, but not that. So praise the Lord that I fixed it. Next up, we've got no. It's kind of strange actually, because I hate to admit that I took a BuzzFeed quiz, but there was one BuzzFeed quiz that I took very recently. It was a couple weeks ago actually, and it was very stupid. It was like, which Yontan are you? And I'm like, you want to know what emotion, or like, you know, what behavior of Tay's dog I am. Okay. It asked, like, which was your favorite music video, and it had, like, ridiculous names for everything throughout it, but the best one of all was the music video for No was titled, like, Dystopian Algebra. So that was just hilarious and stupid. And, like, if you ask me, the old one, which is not structured at all, it gives me dystopian algebra vibes. Like, it feels like that was, like, again, like when they were actually trapped, you know, before they resisted in the video. But then because of the fact that you actually have, like, the red pop up when the music starts, and, you know, that's kind of like their actual resistance, it feels more heroic, honestly, if that's, I don't know if that's the right wording, but, you know, it feels more like, yeah, this is the resistance, like, you know, with, like, the gradient of, like, you know, light, it looks more hopeful, whereas the blue, white, and silver gradient, and whatever the frick I was trying to do with those little lines in the actual, like, what is that? I remember I was like, oh, the letters look bland, but, like, what was I trying to do? Make them look metallic? Because that is, I don't even have a word to say how bad that was. Ugh. But yeah, No has been fixed. And thank goodness. Lastly, we have the stars. I am noticing a very embarrassing pattern of my old work that's basically throw the words up and then make a pretty background. What are those hearts? What do those hearts have to do with it? Like, you know, I put the hearts on the other one, but they make more sense because this thing is saying, don't give up, let's aim for a shining tomorrow of our dreams, whereas those ones are like edgy, you know? Like, they're under a folder called crop shapes that basically has like a bunch of like jaggedy, like, it looks like the kind of crap you'd see at like designs from like the goth stores where you imagine people used to like get clothes from when you're a kid and they're in their goth phase. But no, like, in my new version, the hearts have a little bit more context and they actually add something to the picture. Those freaking crop shape hearts that are like, ugh, edgy because they, you know, kind of looks like they were spray painted. No. And what were the colors? For goodness sake, what is this? This is pain is what it is. No, it's awful. And thank goodness I fixed it. Because it has structure now. That is one of the biggest things that I've actually realized, because I will admit I have been taking a lot of inspiration from looking at typography on the internet. But let's be real, you need inspiration. If you're going to be like me, and like, you know, when I started these things it was kind of okay. Even looking at that one behind me right there, which is Untitled Hymn, I think is technically what it's called, but people also know it as, I think it's Come to Jesus. That thing's basically, I have like a weird outline of a cross that kind of makes it look like there's a cross kind of popping out of the background, and then just like white glows behind the words that were too dark because I didn't want to change the font color, and it is, I tried is what it is. But no. Just no. So with those old days, it was just kind of, yay, typography, this is fun, you know, colors and wow. And again, like even looking at, you know, the freaking I Love My Lips one, the point of that one was literally just the lol so random XD thing. Like, I literally just think of the YouTube channel. I hate everything when I say that, but like that poster's fun because in the context of like VeggieTales and Silly Songs, especially that one part where you're like, oh boy, what's happening? You know, it kind of makes sense for the lol so random XD crap. But like, you know, if you look at songs like, again, Love Is Not Over by BTS, Euphoria, Singularity, like any songs from RM's, you know, recent mixtape, like anything from Mono, you would not be able to get away with the kind of crap that I did with my VeggieTales posters. Even in high school, I made a poster of the Look Olaf lyrics from Loud the Kindly Viking, and after the fact, everyone was saying, the song is so lame. Well, not lame, but like corny. But the song is so corny, you should have used Comic Sans, because it would have been ironic, and it would have fit the situation, because, you know, Comic Sans, everyone hates it. Like, Comic Sans would have worked in that situation. Comic Sans would not work with songs like, even songs that aren't serious. Like, if I saw someone making typography out of Rock Your Body by Vix, Yes or Yes by Twice, Just Right by Got7, like, those songs, the lyrics do not suit freaking Comic Sans, but there's something about, you know, me that would have been like, it's not Times New Roman or Arial, you know, it's not one of the ones that you use on your papers, so it's good. Which, no. Nikki of grade 12, I am freaking glad you grew up. And sure, you may feel bad for looking for inspiration on places, but the thing is, it helps you do your own crap. Let's be real. You look for inspiration elsewhere, you can kind of like, not necessarily combine different things because there are definitely things that don't work together, but that's the thing, is that you learn what goes together and what doesn't. So yeah, it's really, really nice to just grow up and learn from your mistakes and just be able to improve art. And let's be real, if God decided to give me a miracle and like let me meet BTS, if they saw the old versions of my posters, I would cry. Or like, I would just be like, oh, it's so bad. Like, even with that voice, like the, oh, why did you have to do that? You know, the fake smiling through your teeth. Like, I would not handle that well, to put it simply. But yeah, sorry that I did this again. I have a lot on my plate in the next little bit. Like I said, I just had my last day of classes and I've got finals next week. The majority of them next week, actually. And then just one on the last day of final season, so it's a little crazy right now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then give it a thumbs up. Again, I'm sorry for reusing last week's video, but when I want to upload and I just don't have ideas, there's always art to fix. Anyway, you survived, and thank goodness I'm helping my typography do the same.